Okay, Son of Man coming on the clouds. This is week 18. We have just finished some review, but we're going to review a little bit on the sixth angel pouring out the bowl of God's wrath. And we're in Revelation 16:12. So let's just read it again. Let's just read 12 through 16. Anybody want to read?
What was it? Yeah, I'm sorry, I was writing.
Revelation 16 and then 12 through 16.
I'll read it. The sixth angel poured out his bowl on the great river Euphrates, and its water was dried up to prepare the way for the kings from the east. Then I saw three evil spirits that looked like frogs. They came out of the mouth of the dragon, out of the mouth of the beast, and out of the mouth of the false prophet. They are spirits of demons performing miraculous signs, and they go out to the kings of the whole world to gather them for the battle on the great day of God Almighty. Behold, I come like a thief. Blessed is he who stays awake and keeps his clothes with him, so that he may not go naked and be shamefully exposed. Then they gathered the kings together to the place that in Hebrew is called Armageddon.
Okay, thank you and thank you. There's a lot in here. Yeah. Okay, so I don't know what all this means, but keep in mind that the throne of the beast has just been darkened, right? They've just gone to hell, which the Antichrist is a person and the false prophet is a person, and so evidently they've died. But anyway, and it's at this time that the river is dried up and three unclean spirits come out. Of the dragon and the Antichrist and the false prophet. So don't we know that spirits have to have a body to operate on the earth? I think of remember when Jesus came upon, was it Legion? Whoever it was. And they said, Jesus, don't torment us now. Send us into the pigs. Right? So, I don't know if these go together or not, but this is where my brain went. They no longer have a body to be in. But anyway, I don't know, that's where my brain went. But nonetheless, John sees three demons coming out of the dragon and the Antichrist and the false prophet. And it was these evil spirits that was in operation through those that now are going out to call together the kings of the world to come fight against God, because that's what happens at Armageddon. So these unclean spirits are gathering in the kings of the world to come fight against God, which is what we'll read later. But just to remind us, Armageddon is the place where God kills all the rest of the flesh that's left on the earth, and the birds actually eat the flesh. Yeah. But they're coming to fight against God, it says. And they're being drawn by these evil spirits. Tell me what else y'all see in that. Do y'all see anything else that, like when you went through the study before, do you have any notes about anything that not in that section.
Well, I thought it was interesting in verse 14 where it says, the spirits of the demons perform miraculous signs. Of what?
I have no clue. What could they be doing to get all of these kings of the world to come fight against God? To gather them together for the war of the great day of God, the Almighty. They know they're coming to fight God because even later on it says that. How? I don't know. Somehow they do something. I don't know what it would be.
But I thought it was interesting they used the word miraculous.
Yes.
His study.
Okay. What is
3
it?
demonic spirits, like unclean frogs, will perform signs to rally nations for war. They will travel to the kings of the whole world to assemble them for battle. That's just his thought.
Yep. Well, and that's exactly. I'm in agreement. I'm in agreement. Let me show you where it says it. Let me find it. Let me find it. Where's it at? Nope, that's not it. Okay. Chapter 19 of Revelation, verse 19. Chapter 19:19 is at the time frame of Armageddon. So this is in the day of this war, at Armageddon. In 19:19, John says, "And I saw the beast and the kings of the earth and their armies assembled to make war against him who sat on the horse and against his army." It was Jesus on the white horse. So they know that they are assembled to fight against Jesus and his people.
Which is us.
Right. That's right. It's all the saints. And you learn that in verse 11, 12, 13. Right. So these peeps know they're coming to fight against God himself. Right. And back to our Revelation 16:14. Yours says miraculous?
Mm-hmm.
Mine says performing signs.
That's
Just
all mine
miracles.
says.
Working
Okay.
miracles.
And yours says working miracles.
Yeah, I was thinking if it said
Interesting.
miraculous, would that be like a copycat of what Jesus would do when he performed
Yeah.
miracles?
Well, and there's other places in Revelation where they actually do. And do you know what I'm reminded of? Oh my goodness. Do you remember the plagues in Egypt? And the first 2 or 3, I don't, first few, God would do his plague, but then the evil spirits would do a copycat up until it was too hard for them to do.
Yeah.
They do have some kind of ability.
Hmm.
Which can be very deceiving.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Well, I also wonder, even if they're not empowered to perform miraculous stuff, there's magicians and sleight of hand people all around us
You're right.
in the entertainment industry can make stuff.
Right.
These cats that shows up on America's Most Talented or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
that
talent.
yeah,
Mhm.
and can give somebody an audience a playing card and can ask them 2 or 3 questions and then know what it is. That,
Good point.
they some kind of trick to
That's
that.
right. That's right.
But it sure can make the gullible believe.
And it
and
makes me
In a time like
Yes.
this, I think people might be extra gullible.
I think you're right. I think you're right. And there's so much fear going on, right? I mean,
the Earth's topsy-turvy. A bunch of people's disappeared. Yeah.
Right.
So.
And do they think, and I don't have a clue, but do they think that just the fact that sheer numbers, if they all join together, that they can win against God? Do they think that? I have no idea.
If you've got a good salesman, I'm talking somebody that can make somebody believe something else, they might be thinking they're fighting the devil.
Oh.
Now think about it. They might be so deceived they think they're on the right side, and that God's the bad guy.
Well, yeah, now
Jesus
that
is
I can
the bad
see.
guy.
They know they're fighting God, but they might think God's the bad guy. Ooh. Calling evil good and good evil.
There you go.
You might be on something.
What's always blew me away is
Oh.
as to how tons and tons of people can just disappear from the earth and the earth goes on, right? Hey, saw him the other day, flew up in the sky. I don't know what happened to him. Yeah, and
Business as usual.
yeah. And
But we've been trained, and look at Satan. For years, he has been doing little things to harden our hearts, to make us numb. Video games, killing people.
Yeah.
It's numb to it. So now when it happens in real life, people are over it in a day or two. What?
Because there's no feeling to it.
Right. I mean, and maybe that's got to, I guess, going on. I don't know. But, okay. Wow. But in the midst of this section, Revelation 16:15, to me, God is encouraging us. Behold, I am coming like a thief. Blessed is the one who stays awake and keeps his clothes, so that he will not walk about naked when men will not see his shame. It's like he's reminding everybody, even though this is second half, he's still encouraging people to be clothed in Christ, is the way I see it. Clothed in God. It's not too late. Right? It's not too late. Right. Not almost, but not yet. Okay, and then I looked up Armageddon, y'all. And I don't know a whole lot about it, but so it says this is in the Hebrew called Armageddon. And I looked up and it means Mountain Megiddo, okay, which is an actual mountain.
Yeah.
All right.
I always thought Armageddon was the plain below it, and it's an enormous flat expanse, is what I've heard.
There's something in the Old Testament that makes me think that as well. It makes me think it as well.
Right.
Well, I have written in my notes from our previous study that when it said they gathered the kings together in a place that in Hebrew is called Armageddon, that is the only time that the word Armageddon is used in the Bible, is this verse here.
Oh.
And that it's the place where the battle took place, and not necessarily the name of the war.
It might be. That might be correct. I've never looked.
And that would go with what you said, it was a mountain.
Uh-huh. I have never looked to see. That's interesting. But it may be. It must be. That person looked it up. What is very interesting to me, and we're going to look at some of the scriptures tonight, is more on this word in the original language. One of the meanings is great destruction. Great destruction.
The meaning of Armageddon?
Yep. It's Mount Megiddo is one of them, and great destruction is another actual meaning of the Hebrew word. Well, I looked at Mount Megiddo, and apparently it is a real mountain, literal. And it is 60 miles north of Jerusalem.
Might be on our maps in our Bible.
Yes. It's on my map number 3. I don't know what map. Yes. So let me look at my map number 3. So let's see. Map number 3. 60 miles north of Israel. Now I'm not seeing it on my little map, but anywho,
You say 60 miles north of what?
Jerusalem. Mm-hmm.
Everybody Google it.
I did that one time, and yeah, I could find it, but I don't recall now. It's been a while since I have Googled it. I'm not seeing it on here if I have the right map. See, map number 3, but I don't see it. But anyway, it's outside Jerusalem.
Here's supposedly a picture of it.
Did you Google it?
Yeah. See if I can blow that up. Kind of looks like the area around Cottonville. There you
Yeah, it does.
go.
You know what I would be curious of? How far is it from the Euphrates River?
Oh, yeah.
Because that's where they're supposed to, right?
Yeah.
Ah, that looks like a battleground.
Well, maybe you could Google that. How far is it? from
I'll
Euphrates
find that
River?
out. Get my phone back.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
Is that a current day
Huh.
picture?
Yeah, let's see how
Very
far that is
lush
from
and
the
green, isn't it?
Euphrates. Because that's how the kings are coming in. That's wild.
Here's some info on that.
What's it say?
I can't pronounce these words. It says northern of Israel, built in 1949, located in the Derizal Valley.
Okay, so there's your valley.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Wikipedia.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
That's words I can't pronounce.
518 miles.
From the Euphrates.
From the Euphrates River.
Uh-huh.
It looks like a village. It looks like a town.
But it says that it dries up. It's a large river, and it dries up, and that allows the kings from the east to cross.
Yeah. Then they just have another 500 miles to get to their location.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And here is an article that says, it's a current article, came out in May of this year. The Euphrates River, linked to biblical prophecies of Armageddon, appears to be drying up.
Isn't that interesting?
Yep. What a coincidence.
Y'all, if y'all don't realize, we're close. Woohoo! I'm sorry. Woohoo! Hi,
But if that's the case, look where we're at in the Revelation.
Right. But now, when the sixth angel pours out the bowl, then it's completely dried up. So, you know, there's got to be something that causes it to be completely dry. Yeah.
Well, that's significant too. In the Euphrates, was called Tigris and the Euphrates were the area between those rivers called Cradle of Civilization. That's where it is alleged that the Garden of Eden existed.
Yeah, well, because in talking about the Garden of Eden, it says where the 4 rivers meet. Doesn't it say something like that?
I think so. Yeah.
Or they spring from the Garden of Eden, something. Yeah, they flow out of.
So you got the Tigris, Euphrates, and what are the others?
I don't know.
Rocky and the PD.
either. It's hilarious.
Are we chasing
Don't
a
run
rabbit?
me out.
Goofball. Moving on.
You get him in that hole, you may not get him out.
I love it.
Says the Bible suggests the Garden of Eden is located somewhere between the Tigris and Euphrates rivers.
Okay.
Interesting. Okay. All right, let's quarantine you.
Uh-huh.
All right. Okay. I want to go to the Old Testament, of course, and talk more about these kings being called, drawn in to fight against God. Because Revelation says it's those three unclean spirits, right? It's bringing them in. And that's right. Joel chapter 3 says something else. Let's go to Joel chapter 3. Now we know, right, that no matter who is doing it, somebody else can be behind it, right? In other words, Satan can be behind somebody doing something, or God can be the source of it.
Yeah.
Same thing here. So I'm just going to, spoiler alert, tell you that in Joel chapter 3, we learned that God is actually the one behind bringing all these kings to fight against him at Armageddon. God's actually the one behind it. So, just for time's sake, I'm going to tell you that in Joel chapter 3, 1 through 21, really, that whole section will put all this in perspective. But I'm going to read 1 and 2. I'm going to read 1 and 2. Joel 3, 1 and 2. For behold, in those days and at that time, when I restore the fortunes of Judah and Jerusalem, this is God speaking, I will gather all the nations and bring them down to the valley of Jehoshaphat. Then I will enter into judgment with them there on behalf of my people and my inheritance Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations, and they have divided up my land. This valley of Jehoshaphat means valley of judgment, where the Lord judges. And verse 1, when God says, at the time that I will restore the fortunes of Judah and Jerusalem, that happens in the 1,000-year reign. He restores all of the fortunes in the 1,000-year reign. And so, at the time that he's going to do that, at the 1,000-year reign, just before the 1,000-year reign is when Armageddon takes place. So that's your verse 2. And it says, I, the Lord, will gather all nations and bring them down to the valley of Jehoshaphat. Then I will enter into judgment with them there. He's drawing in all the nations. He's actually the one bringing all the kings to fight against him so that he can enter into judgment with them and kill them with the sword of his mouth. Which is what happens at Armageddon. It's actually him behind it all. No surprise, really. Not really. Not really. Because we know, what's his, okay, review time. What's his overall goal by the end of the 7 years?
To save as many people to get in, or
That's definitely one of them. And then all the ones that don't turn to him, what's his goal for them? Yes, wiping them out. That's right. He's cleaning the house. That's right. That's right. So it's no wonder he actually is the one drawing them all to that final battle. All the ones that said nope to him, He draws them in to wipe them out. I mean, it's, of course. Of course. It's wild. So, I'm not going to read all the rest, but it's good reading if you want. And if you do, by chance, read chapter 3, as you do, prepare us a little review. If anybody does it, if you don't, no big deal. But we'll look at it next week if anybody does read for a quick little, give us a summary. Okay. Are we ready to look at the 7th bowl?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Anything else we need to say on that? On the 6th before we move on? Alright. So while these kings are coming in, we got the 7th bowl that gets started somehow or another. And I want to show you how much God has to say about this last bowl of wrath. So in Revelation chapter 16, it starts in verse 17. Look at your little titles. Mine says the doom of Babylon is what mine says. Well, 7th bowl of wrath. And then chapter 17 says the doom of Babylon. And keep looking. Chapter 18, what does y'all's little title say?
The fall of Babylon.
The fall of Babylon. Yep, okay. And then we get to chapter 19, and we've got a hallelujah and a celebration going on. So, the 7th bowl actually goes all the way through the end of chapter 18. He's got a lot to say.
Mm-hmm.
So chapter 16, verse 17 starts the 7th bowl. 16, 17 starts it. And it really goes through 1824. Quite a bit. So we're going to spend some time. And I'm going to blow your mind. Probably going to blow your mind. Don't walk out. Still love me afterward. Y'all, this is wild. Okay. Before we read it, I'm going to do something a little different. And I'm going to set it up. I'm going to put it on the tee if you play golf. Okay? I'm going to put the ball on the tee. All right. We're going to read one verse. Marky, are you awake? Well, y'all forgive me for leaving this on. I do it for Dad. Yes, will you please read Revelation chapter 16 and verse 17?
Just 17?
Yep, just that one.
Okay. The seventh angel poured out his bowl into the air, and a loud voice came out of the temple from the throne, saying, "It is done."
Thank you.
It is finished.
Yes, it is finished. It is done. What is done? God's wrath, right? Yes. There were 7 bowls of wrath. This is the 7th, so his wrath is completed when this bowl is finished. No more wrath of God. Now I'm here to tell you, he has saved the best for last. Okay. All right, so you know how each bowl is poured out on something different. The earth, the sea, the sun, the throne of the beast, blah, 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 blah. This one's poured out on the what? The air. All right, y'all. Bible scholars. Let that settle. What's in the air? Who's in the air? Heaven is in the... God's throne heaven is in the 3rd heaven, okay? There's 3 of them, though. Yeah. There's 3 heavens. And it's his wrath. So it's probably not the 3rd. I would think not. Not wrath on his own self, his own peeps, okay? What else is in the air? What would he be pouring wrath out on that's in the air. Now, there's a scripture coming to my mind. Turn to, and I'm going to support it. Remember, I'm putting the ball on the tee. Go to Ephesians chapter 6. Anybody know where I'm going? This is a common scripture. Ephesians chapter 6. And let's see. Toby, when you get there,
Okay.
will you read verses 10 through 12?
Ephesians 6, verses 10 through 12.
Mhm.
Okay. Finally, be strong in the Lord and the strength of his might. Put on the whole armor of God that you may be able to stand against the schemes of the devil. For we do not wrestle against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against authorities, against the cosmic powers over this present darkness, against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly places. Therefore, take up the whole armor of God that you may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all, to stand firm.
Thank
Stand
you.
therefore,
That's
having
good.
fastened on the belt of truth, and having put on the breastplate of righteousness, and as shoes for your feet, having put on the readiness given by the gospel of peace. In all circumstances, take up the shield of faith, with which you can extinguish all the flaming darts of the evil one.
Thank you. So, who or what is in the air? Look at verse 12.
Okay.
Yeah.
The rulers,
Yeah.
authorities, the powers of the dark world,
Yeah.
spiritual forces of evil.
Correctamento. Now, I know that's just one place, but we're going to look at more. But one thing that's in the air are all those spiritual forces of wickedness. The demons, the fallen angels, yeah. Satan and his cronies, unless they're in a person, right? But nonetheless, I mean,
I've got written in the side Satan and his angels
yeah,
of the previous day.
yeah.
What's that? What'd you say?
Satan and his angels.
Yeah. Yeah. That's who we're fighting against.
Yeah.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right. Just something, okay? So, so my version, I think yours did too, at the end of 12 said heavenly places. Does anybody else's version say anything different besides heavenly places at the end of verse 12?
High places.
High places, okay.
It says realms, heavenly realms.
Realms, okay. Mark, does yours have anything different?
I can't hear what you said about you got love.
At the end of verse 12 in Ephesians 6, ours mostly says heavenly places or realms. Does yours say anything different?
Heavenly places.
Okay. All right. Now, there are 3 heavens, right? And one of those is the air. It's just, they're synonyms. Okay. All right. Let's keep going. Let's go to Matthew 25. Matthew 25. I'm going to make the point in this Matthew 25 that God has said there is coming a day that he will judge and pour out his wrath on Satan and his angels. There is coming a day when God will pour out his wrath on Satan and his angels. So, in Matthew 25, let's look at verse 31 to 33. And it says, Matthew 25, 31 to 33 says, "But when the Son of Man comes in his glory, and all the angels with him, then he will sit on his glorious throne. all the nations will be gathered before him, and he will separate them from one another, as the shepherd separates the sheep from the goats. And he will put the sheep on his right and the goats on his left. I'm going to skip down to verse 41, just for time's sake. Then he will also say to those on his left, "Depart from me, accursed ones, into the eternal fire, which has been prepared for the devil and his angels." So God is not only going to send people who have chosen a life apart from God to hell, but also Satan and his angels have a place reserved in hell. So they're also going to be judged, wrath poured out on, and sent to hell. Bold statement, but I'll support it. I never realized, I knew that truth. I never realized the Bible actually shows us when that takes place. And that takes place in the seventh bowl of wrath. Bold statement, I know. We all know this, that Satan, his fallen angels, cronies, demons, powers of wickedness, along with people who reject Jesus, will all go to hell. We know that. But the Bible actually shows us when God sends Satan's demons, angels to hell, demonic forces. And it's in the seventh bowl of wrath. Wow. Wow and wow and wow. So my little funny about him saving the best for last. Wow. It is done, right? He said it is done in the seventh bowl. Well, if God's wrath is done in the seventh bowl, then everybody's got to, he's judged everybody. Woohoo! Ay, ay, ay. Okay. Let's go to Matthew chapter 8. We're just going to drive this home a little bit. This is wild and this is new. I'm going to drive it home. Matthew chapter 8. Matthew chapter 8. We're just going to read one verse, 29, but let me remind you of the surrounding events. Matthew 8:29. This is when Jesus has come up upon the guy who lived in the tombs, and he was chained, and the demons in that man, in verse 29, says, they cried out to Jesus, saying, "What business do we have with each other, Son of God? Have you come here to torment us before the time?" Before the time. So they know that Jesus, the Son of God, has a time where he will torment them. There's more clarification on that verse in Luke's account. So let's go to Luke's account of the same event. Y'all, I am learning, seriously, sidebar, I am learning to love to read the different accounts in the Gospels because you get more detail. Mm-hmm. That's kind of new to me. Duh. Duh. Right. Right.
Luke what?
Luke 8, and we're just going to read 31. This is the parallel verse. Same event. Luke just gave more detail. So 8:31. Missy, will you read your version? Luke 8:31.
And they besought him that he would not command them to go out into the deep.
Thank you, thank you. Mine says the abyss.
I do.
Okay, so same thing. And another thing that these demons were saying, not only were they saying, don't torment us before the time, but they were also saying, don't send us away to hell, the bottomless pit, the abyss, the deep. So the tormenting before the time was, don't send us to hell. So the demons know there's a time Jesus is going to send them to hell, to the abyss, at the appointed time. It's going to happen. I just never knew that God gave us detail about it. But he does in the 7th bowl, which is shouting ground when we get all this under our belt. Because y'all, who is oppressing us all our life? It's not really people. Not really. Right? It's Satan and his cronies. Woohoo! This is shouting ground. Okay. All right. Now let's go back to our Revelation 16. Let's read a little further. Revelation 16. Let me get back there. So we read one verse. Let's read that one verse again, and let's go through 21. So, who wants to read Revelation 16, 17 through 21?
I got it.
Okay.
The 7th angel poured out his bowl into the air, and a loud voice came out of the temple from the throne, saying, "It is done." And there were flashes of lightning, rumblings, peals of thunder, a great earthquake such as there had never been since man was on the earth. So great was that earthquake. The great city was split into 3 parts, and the cities of the nations fell. And God remembered Babylon the Great to make her drain the cup of the wine of the fury of his wrath. And every island fled away, and no mountains were to be found. And great hailstones, about 100 pounds each, fell from heaven on people. And they cursed God for the plague of the hail, because the plague was so severe.
Yeah, can y'all picture that? Oh my gosh. Okay. So I don't know about y'all, but I'm seeing a movie of 100-pound stones falling in there.
We think quarter-size hail is
Right. I mean, it's like a boulder almost, right? Woo. All right, but for time's sake, we'll come back to some of these things, but I really want to focus on putting that ball on the tee about this bowl being judgment against the demons. That's where I want to focus our time on. So, I want to look at the word city. This is in verse 19. The great city was split into 3 parts, and the cities of the nations fell. Babylon the Great was remembered before God to give her the cup of the wine of his fierce wrath. So Babylon is the city we're talking about. And when you look at this word city in the original language, you know it was written in Greek, you know that was the language of the day, and these words are just the best English words they could find. But when it was written in Greek, what it said was the great hub of population. So city is what English word was used for, a hub of population. Just a bunch of somethings. Population of something. Now, you know, if we're talking the city of Norwood, that would be a bunch of population of people, you know. But we're talking city of Babylon, and we're talking spiritually speaking. We are talking about the demons. So this is a hub of population in context and all things put together. It's all the demons. It's the population of demons. and that'll come out more and more and more and more and more and more. But the definition of that word just highlights, like when I hear the word city, I think buildings and schools and people and grocery stores and, you know, but that's not really what it's a hub of population. It's a conglomeration of, in this case, the demons. But the name of the city is Babylon. And there is a literal physical Babylon. You know, there was. There really was. But it's just a picture of this spiritual Babylon that we're really talking about. And that'll be brought out more and more. So this spiritual city Babylon, the population of demons, is likened unto Zion. Do y'all remember talking about Zion one week? Where Zion is the spiritual city of all believers and saints and prophets, you know, in heaven, Zion. And Jerusalem is the physical city on the earth that represents, okay? So that the same comparison is made with the physical earthly Babylon and the spiritual hub of demons Babylon. It's the same parallels on opposite ends of the spectrum. So I want to show you this more in the Old Testament. Let's go to Isaiah 47. Isaiah 47. Told you tonight was going to be wild. Isaiah. Now again, this whole chapter is pretty awesome once the light bulb goes off, but I'm going to just pick out a few. We're going to look at 3 verses for time's sake.
Say 47.
47, and we're going to look at verse 1, 5, and 10. Verse 1, 5, and 10. Verse 1 says, "Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground without a throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for you shall no longer be called tender and delicate." So there's a time when Babylon will not have a throne anymore, will not have power anymore. There's a time when this hub of population won't be able to operate and influence people anymore. Verse 5 says, "Sit silently and go into darkness, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for you will no longer be called the queen of kingdoms." Now, how often do we see darkness and hell used interchangeably? A lot. Yeah.
All the way through.
A lot. Yeah. And we already know that's where God's going to send them. So to me, that's saying the same thing. And then verse 10. "You felt secure," talking about Babylon, "you felt secure in your wickedness and said, 'No one sees me.' Your wisdom and your knowledge, they have deluded you. For you have said in your heart, 'I am, and there is no one besides me.'" Right, are we still talking about a city? This is somebody, something that has a heart or an understanding or thought processes, right? This is not a physical city on the earth. We're talking about spiritual Babylon.
Is he talking about leadership? I mean like governance or
Demons.
demons, okay.
Yes. This is a prophetic word about when God judges spiritual Babylon, which are all the forces of wickedness, the demons. Because of verse 5, for one reason, this is when they're going to be sent to hell. verse 10, their operation on the earth is they were secure in their wickedness, and they said, no one sees me. Well, if it was a person, you could see them. But you can't see the evil spirits. These are the demons that are going to get judged. It's the spiritual Babylon, just like Zion is believers. Babylon is the demons. This is all the fallen angels who are saying, we can do what we want, nobody can see us, we can influence people, we can be wicked, nobody sees us. But God is saying, your day is coming. Your day is coming. And that day comes in the seventh bowl. We're still putting the bowl on the tea. Again, this whole chapter is awesome, but we're going to leave it at that just for time's sake.
Is that what they say, I am? Is that a mocking saying that they're God during that time?
Say that again?
That's what they say, I am, and there's no one besides me. Is that like a mocking and calling yourself God?
Yes, it is. Definitely. At the end of verse 10, yes. Exactly. Thank you for bringing that out. Yes. For they said in their heart, I am, and there is no one besides me. And you know that's what Satan says, right? And all his cronies, full of pride. Right. Right. You keep reading, and verse 11 says, but evil will come on you. Disaster will fall on you. Destruction will come on you suddenly. That's verse 11. And when does that happen? In the seventh bowl judgment.
But then if you look on verse 12, it says, keep on them with your magic spells and with your many sorceries,
Thank you. Yes.
which you have labored at since childhood.
Yes. Now who's the source of all that? Right. Right. Light bulb starts going off, it just, okay. We're going to go to one more in the Old Testament that to me has that ball set and you knock it out. It just, there it is. You ready? We building it. Okay, Isaiah 14. Isaiah 14. Oh, it's awesome. Y'all, just a sidebar while we're turning. Isaiah 14. We're going to read 11 through 15. 14, 11 through 15. But here's just a sidebar that I get so... Wait a minute, is that over? All right. Hold up. Yeah. Sidebar. my own thoughts sidetrack. I get so excited when something comes alive in here that I go, oh, you told us about that, Lord. You gave us detail about that. I never knew that was there. I get so
Went right over it before.
Right. And it gets me so excited. I mean, it's like he wants us to know. Okay. That was not wrong. All right, 14. Isaiah 14, verse 11 through 15. Who wants to read?
I'll read. 11 through 14?
11 through 15.
15. Okay. All your pomp has been brought down to the grave, along with the noise of your harps. Maggots are spread out beneath you, and worms cover you. How you have fallen from heaven, O morning star, son of the dawn. You have been cast down to the earth, you who once laid low the nations. You said in your heart, I will ascend to heaven. I will raise my throne above the stars of God. I will sit enthroned on the mount of assembly, on the utmost heights of the sacred mountain. I will ascend above the tops of the clouds. I will make myself like the Most High. But you are brought down to the grave, to the depths of the pit.
Okay, y'all. Y'all know these verses. Who is this talking about?
Devil.
Satan.
Mm-hmm.
Mine says old Lucifer.
Yes.
Lucifer.
Yes and yes and yes.
Son of the morning.
Yes. Okay. No doubt about it, right? We know that, right? Okay. Hold on to your hats. Backtrack. Take your eyes backwards just a little bit. Verse 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Now notice, before we read verse 4, that all those, everything in between and what we just read is all in one quote, right? I mean, it's all talking to somebody, and obviously it was talking to Satan, right? Okay, read verse 4. It says that you will take up this taunt against the king of Babylon and say, blah, 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 blah. All of this blah, 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 blah is about who? The king of Babylon. Which is who? Satan. Right. Ball on the tee. Wow. Wow. Who is he king over? All his fallen angels, demons, principalities, spiritual forces of wickedness in the heavenly places. He is the king of Babylon. So are we talking just physical city? I mean, maybe we are, but there's more. We're talking his cronies.
All unbelievers, all this, yeah.
Yes. But even more specifically, the fallen angels that influence the unbelievers. Yeah. That's really what we're talking. We're talking the spiritual wicked forces. Yes, the demons, we would say. His angels. So there is a spiritual Babylon that's beyond just the land over yonder across the seas. The kingdom of darkness. Babylon. This will get highlighted more as we read in Revelation. But that needs to be, I don't know, thought about, settled, meditated on. Let the Lord quicken it, bring it to life, chew on it, however you want to word it, before we actually can get into the bowl of wrath itself. But here's what we're saying. Lucifer, that God created, hearts, beautiful, love Lord, all of that up there, turned Satan, wickedness was found in him, right? He is the king of Babylon, the spiritual fallen angels. And so there is a spiritual city, Babylon, a hub of demons. And Babylon is the name of the group. And so sometimes in the word Babylon is talking about that physical location, but sometimes Babylon is talking about those hub of demons. And the seventh bowl is this hub of demons, spiritual Babylon. That's what I call it, for clarification. That's where we're going to end tonight. And I'm asking this week that y'all review, refresh, read, let it settle, let the Holy Spirit, process. What? Let Him bring some things to life. And then if you have time, read that whole seventh bowl. It's one thing for us to sit down and just talk about it, but to read it all in one sitting, and let it settle on your own, you and the Lord, is even better. It's even better if you have time. So let me just give you those verses again. Got me. It's Revelation chapter 16, verse 17, through Revelation 18:24. 16, 17 through 18:24. So as you read, just honestly ask the Lord, show me this actual spiritual application to this being the spiritual hub of demons, not a physical city. Show me the symbolism, I guess is the best way to say it. And so then next week, I'm hoping and praying we each have something that the Lord's, you got excited about, or you saw, or, and we'll bring it all together. Okay, I'm going to stop the recording.